My name is Elsa Kuriakos. I am an assistant professor in EC department in Holy Grace Academy of Engineering. Today we are going to deal with module 5. It contains the first topic, counter. Now what is a counter? We know that a counter means, as the name indicates, it counts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It keeps on going like that. Now how we accomplish this? That is done with the help of a flip-flop. So as the name indicates, counter is a set of flip-flop whose state changes. State means 0 is a state, then 1 is a state, 2 is a state, and keeps on like that. So it changes the state from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and go on, and keeps on going like that in response to the pulses applied at the input to the counter. So the pulses applied means it implicates the clock pulses that is applied. Okay. Now we will see there are two types of counter. Asynchronous counter There are two types of counter, asynchronous counter and synchronous counter. Now let's see what is the difference between an asynchronous counter and a synchronous counter. Now as I told, counter is a set of flip-flop. So suppose a counter which consists of 3 flip-flops. Let it be flip-flop 1, let this be flip-flop 2, let this be flip-flop 3. Okay. Now every flip-flop consists of a clock input. And also it consists of an output Q. Let this be Q1, let this be output Q2, and let this be output Q3. Now the input, if it is a JK flip-flop, I will say it consists of J, J1, then K1. For this flip-flop, it consists of J2, input K2. This one is J3, this one is K3. Okay. Now, in case of a asynchronous counter, now let's see what is an asynchronous counter. In asynchronous counter, suppose there are 3 flip-flops. Now here we will give clock simultaneously. Okay. Now the difference is that suppose this counter or this flip-flop starts working and it produced a output Q1. This Q1, it is fed into the input, that is J2 of the second flip-flop. Now this flip-flop 2 will produce an output Q2 which is fed to the input of the next flip-flop 3. So you can see that there will be a propagation delay because once only flip-flop 1 produce the output, then only Q2, this flip-flop 2 will receive the input and it can work to produce an output which is again fed to the flip-flop 3, then only it can produce the output Q3. So that is an asynchronous counter. Whereas in synchronous counter, this situation, in module 5 we are going to deal with synchronous counter. In synchronous counter, all the flip-flops are triggered simultaneously. So let's see how we do synchronous counter design. So before starting, let us know the steps that are involved in the designing of a synchronous counter. There are 5 steps. First step is find the number of flip-flops. So as the number of state increases, the number of flip-flops also increase. So if you are asked to design for a particular number of states, then we have to calculate the number of flip-flops. That is the first step. Find the number of flip-flops. Second step is that state diagram. State diagram means it shows the flow of the state. Suppose a counter is set to count from 0 to 1, 2, 3, like that. Suppose it is going like this. We will draw a state diagram which represents how it changes its state. Next is choice of flip-flop and excitation table. As we know, there are 4 major flip-flops used, like JK flip-flop, T flip-flop, JK flip-flop, D flip-flop. So any of the flip-flop can be used to design any of the counters. So that is the third one, choice of flip-flop and corresponding excitation table. Next is minimal expression for the excitation. So after selecting the flip-flop, we will draw a table. From that, we will draw the K-map and find the expression to implement it. That is what the step 4 says, minimal expression for excitation. And finally, when we get the equation, we will implement it using the logic diagram. Okay. So let us do an example how to design a synchronous counter. Okay. So let the first question be, design a 3-bit up counter. Design a 3-bit synchronous up counter. So this is our question. So we are going to follow these steps. So first one is find the number of flip-flops. So in order to find the number of flip-flops, we need to know how many states are there. So it is given the question that it's a 3-bit. 3 bits are used. Okay, 3 binary bits are used. So 3 bits means how many states will be there? It can be found by the equation 2 raised to n, where this n represents number of bits. Okay, so the number of states is equal to 2 raised to n. So you can see the number of state is equal to 2 raised to n here. So we have given 3 bit. So 3 bit means 2 raised to 3, which is 8 states. So there will be 8 states. So since it is an up counter, so we have 8 states. We can say that the states start from 0. 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then to 7. So there are 8 states. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now when it reaches 7, it goes back to this state. So again it starts counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again 0, 1, 2, 3. And this count, it keeps on going like this until we give a clock pulse. If we stop the clock pulse, it will stop counting and it will be in that state where it has stopped giving the clock pulse. Okay, now first step is find the number of flip-flops. So the number of flip-flops is equal to number of bits. So here it is given that 3-bit synchronous up counter. That means the number of flip-flop is equal to 3. Number of flip-flops is equal to 3. Since it is given that 3-bit counter, we say the number of flip-flop is 3. So the first step is to draw 3 flip-flop. Before that, we'll go to next step. Draw the state diagram, which is very important. The state diagram. Okay. Next is step 2, that is drawing a state diagram. So you can see that the 3-bit synchronous up counter, it counts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again back to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I am going to draw the state diagram which represents the numbers in its corresponding 3-bit binary. So 0 means 0, 0, 0. Okay. Now it goes to the state 1. So I will represent it as 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now next it goes to state 2, whose corresponding binary is 0, 1, 0. Now from 2 it goes to 3, whose corresponding binary is 0, 1, 1. From 3 it goes to 4, whose corresponding binary is 1, 0, 0. From 4 it goes to 5, whose corresponding binary is 1, 0, 1. Then from 1, 0, 1 it goes to 6, which is 1, 1, 0. Then from there it goes to 7, which is 1, 1, 1. and again it goes back to the state 0, 0, 0. And this cycle keeps on going like this till we give the clock pulse. It stops wherever when we stop the clock pulse input. Okay, now we have done the second step, state diagram. Next is the choice of flip-flop. The choice of flip-flop, it can be a JK flip-flop or a T flip-flop, D flip-flop. According to the question, sometime in questions, it will be given to design using a JK flip-flop or a D or a T flip-flop. So here I am using a JK flip-flop. A JK flip-flop. Now, before designing this, we have to write down its excitation table. So, in the previous sessions, we have discussed the JK flip-flop. We have to draw the excitation table of a JK flip-flop. Excitation table of the JK flip-flop is present. It consists of a present state, then next state, and required input. Okay. So, J. For 0, 0, the required input is 0x. 0, 1, it is 1, don't care. 1, 0, it is x. 1, 1, 1, it is 0. So this is the excitation table of a JK flip-flop. Now, as I said, step 3, we have drawn the excitation table. Now we are going to fill this table based on the excitation table. Now, here the first column is present state. So since we have here total 8 state, I am going to write down all the state here. So, for a 3-bit binary, we will have total 8 state. I am going to write down here 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. I have written every state. Now, I am going to write the next state. This I will fill by looking into the state diagram. So, our present state is 0, 0, 0. What is the next state of this 0, 0, 0? So, you can see here is our 0, 0, 0. Our next state is 0, 0, 1. That I will fill here. Okay. Now, next is 0, 0, 1. What is the next state? When we look into the diagram, we can see that 0, 0, 1, it will go to the next state 0, 1, 0. So, I will write it as 0, 1, 0. Now here, 0, 1, 0. 0, 1, 0. What is the next state? 0, 1, 1. 0, 1, 1. Now check for 0, 1, 1. 0, 1, 1. What is the next state of 0, 1, 1? It is 1, 0, 0. So, again, 1, 0, 0. What is the next state of 1, 0, 0? It is 1, 0, 1. Then 1, 0, 1. What is the state, next state of 1, 0, 1? It is 1, 1, 0. Now, 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, 0. What is the next state of 1, 1, 0? It is 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now, 1, 1, 1 has reached. What is the next state of 1, 1, 0? It will go to 0, 0, 0. So, 0, 0, 0. So, every present state is written here and corresponding next state is written. Now, we have to write the required excitation. Required excitation, it is written from this excitation table of JK flip-flop. So, if you are using a JK flip-flop, we will write from this table. If you are using a D flip-flop, we have to write the corresponding excitation table and fill this column. So, since I am using a JK flip-flop, I am going to fill, you can see that J3, K3, J2, K2, J1, K1. We know that there will be 3 flip-flop which has got 3 inputs for each of the flip-flop, we will be having J3, K3, then J2, K2, J1, K1. So for each of this input, we have to write the corresponding flip-flop excitation. So here we have to check that is, suppose this is our present state, then Q3's next state is this 0. For 0, 0, you have to check, that is 0, 0. The corresponding excitation is 0 and don't care. So I will write 0 and don't care. Okay. Now this Q2 of present state and next state Q2 0. So again 0, 0. The next excitation is 0x. Okay. Now for J1, K1. Q1 is the present state. Q1 is the next state of this one. So 0, 1. So when we look for the 0, 1, the corresponding excitation is 1, don't care. So I will fill 1, don't care. Okay. Now next, the present state of Q3 is 0. The next state of Q3 is 0. So 0, 0, 0, 0. The next state will be, the excitation will be 0, don't care. Okay. Now Q2 present state 0. Next state of Q2 is 1. So 0, 1, 0, 1. The corresponding required excitation is 1, don't care. So this is 1, don't care. Now we have to write J1, K1. So J1, K1, we have to look Q1 present state, Q1 next state. This is 1, it is 0. 1, 0 means 1, 0. That means don't care and 1. So don't care and 1. Similarly, you have to fill this ball table. Okay. So looking to the excitation table, I have filled the ball required excitation table. Now the next step is we have to find the equation. For this, I am going to use K-map, Carnot map. So since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 output values, I have to draw 6 K-maps in order to find the corresponding equation. Now after getting this equation, we will implement it using a flip-flop. Okay, now I am going to draw the K-map and find the corresponding equation for all these individual J3, K3, J2, K2, J1 and K1. Now I am going to implement, we have to find the equation. So for finding the equation, I am using the K-map. So since we know that there are 3 bits, it's a 3-bit synchronous counter. So for 3 bits, I require 8 columns in the K-map. That is 3 bits. That means 2 raised to 3, which is 8. So there are 8 columns in our K-map. Okay. Now let's see how I implement. So for finishing that K-map, I am looking the present state of the table. So here it is Q3, Q2, Q1. So in this side I will write Q3. Here I will write Q2, Q1. Now for 0, 0. So now I am going to draw the K-map for the first one, J3. J3. Okay. Now as you know that these states, it can be represented in decimal value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So in a K-map, 0, 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is how we represent a K-map. Now we are going to fill for this J3. For J3, when I fill, we will only fill for 1 and don't care condition. Rest of columns are left out. So you can see that this 0, for this corresponding 0, it is 0 that I don't have to draw. For this 1, it is 0, I don't have to write. For 2, it is 0, I don't want to fill the K-map. Now for 3, you can see that there is a 1 for J3. I am going to fill this J3. So for this third one, you can see that it is a 1. So in this third one, I will write it as 1. Now for the fourth column, you can see that it is a don't care condition. So I will fill the fourth named cell as don't care condition. So the fourth one is here. So I will fill it as a don't care condition. Again, for the fifth, it is a don't care condition. So here it is the fifth one. I will fill it as a don't care. 6, it is cross, and for 7, also cross. So this is how I fill the K-map. Now next step is grouping. So in the grouping of K-map, as we know that here there is 1 and there is a don't care. So we can group it as a single one. But since there is a don't care condition, I will group as like this. Okay. Now to write down the equation of a J3, as we know that here it is a Q2 Q1 bar, then here it is a Q2 Q1 bar, then Q2 Q1 Q2 Q1, that is 0 0 0 1. So that means we have Q2 bar here, then 1 1 and 1 0. 1 0 means Q2 is 1, 0 means we have to represent a complement one. Now here it is 0 and 1, that implement Q3 will be written as Q3 bar for this 0 and 1 is Q3. Now we have to write the equation for this group 1. So how you will write the equation? We have drawn the K-map for J3. So I will write J3 is equal to, since this 2 belongs to this column and it is belonging to Q2 and Q1, I will write it as Q2 Q1. Q2 Q1. So that is the equation for J3. Now I am going to write the equation for K3. So for that we have to draw the K-map. Since it is a 3-bit, I will draw 8 columns. So same one. Here it is Q3, here it is Q2 Q1. So here is for 0 1 3 2 4 5 7 and 6. This is the order. So for K3, now look the K3. In K3 you can see don't care conditions for 0. So for 0 it is a don't care. For 1 it is a don't care. So I will fill the 1 column with a don't care. Then for 2 it is a don't care for the K3. Now I am going to fill K3, where for 2 it is a don't care. So for 2 also I have drawn a don't care. Now for 3 again it is a don't care. So for 3 I have filled don't care. Now what about the 4? 4 you can see it is a 0 value. So you don't have to fill, you can left it out. Now what about 5? 5 is also 0. You don't have to fill the 5th location. In 6 also 0. You don't have to fill the 6th location since it is 0. For 7 it is 1. So for 7 I will draw a 1. So next step in K-map is grouping. So here I will group it like this. Now we have to write down the equation. So when you write down the equation, first you have to write the above value, which is 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0, always 0 and 1. So when you write the equation, K3 is equal to, it is for 1 1, that means Q2 Q1. Q2 Q1. So that is the equation for K3. Now again we have to draw the K-map for J2. Similarly we have to draw separate K-maps for all these outputs. For J2 we have to draw a K-map, K2 we have to draw another K-map, J1 we have to find another K-map, K1 also we have to find another K-map, and you have to find out the equation. So like this we will get all the equations. So have drawn the K-map for every output J3, K3, J2, K2, J1 and K1, and the corresponding equation has also been written. So J3 is Q2 Q1, K3 is Q2 Q1, J2 is equal to Q1, K2 is Q1, J1 is 1 and K1 is 1. Now I am going to implement the final step, that is the circuitry, in order to form the counter. So since we are designing for a 3-bit counter, 3-bit, that means we use 3 flip-flop. So I am going to draw 3 flip-flop. So it is a JK flip-flop. So I write this JK1, this is JK flip-flop 2 and this is JK flip-flop 3. Now we know that JK flip-flop, it has got two inputs, J1 and K1, JK2, we have J2 and K2, we have input J3 and K3. Okay. Now another input is clock. So since it is a synchronous counter, I will be giving all the clocks simultaneously. So I am giving the connection clock. It is given simultaneously since it is a synchronous counter. Now we have output Q1. Here the output is Q2 and here the output is Q3. Now I am going to give the input according to the equation. So in equation you can see J1. J1 is 1. That means I will give a 1 value to J1's input. Now K1 is also 1. K1 is also 1. So that means I can give a connection like this from this J1. This K1. Next is J2. J2 equation is, we have got J2 is equal to Q1. That is, from this Q1 I have given to J2. So the J2 is equal to Q1. That means I will take a connection from Q1 and I will give it to J2. Okay. Next is K2. K2 means the equation is Q1. So again we are giving Q1 to K2. So I can give the connection like this. This is from Q1. Next is J3. J3 equation is Q2 dot Q1. That is, we are using an AND gate in order to implement this equation. So J3 is equal to Q2 Q1. That is, Q2 and Q1, it is given to an AND gate in order to get Q1 Q2, and that is fed to J3. So you can see J3 is Q2 Q1, Q2 dot Q1. So Q2 dot Q1 is obtained from this AND gate and that is fed to J3. Similarly, what is K3? K3 is also Q2 Q1. That means the same one is given to K3. So this is our final circuit. So when we give this clock input, this output will be 0 0 0, which 0 0 1, 0 1 0, 0 1 1, 1 0 0, 1 1 0, 1 0 1, 1 1 0 and 1 1. So this will be our Q3, this will be our Q2, this will be Q1. So when I am giving the clock pulse like this, so since this one is a edge trigger, this represents an edge trigger for each of these edges. So when this clock pulse goes, this output will come. This is the state 1. Or this Q1 will be 0, this Q2 will be 0 and this Q3 will be 0. Now when this clock pulse enters this flip-flop, next state will be 0 0 1. That means this 1 will be produced from this Q1, this Q2 will be 0, this Q3 will be 0. Similarly, for every clock pulse, the state changes and you can get the required output. And once it reaches 1 1 1, it will go back to 0 0. So if I apply a continuous clock, this circles or this state, it keeps on circling from 0 0 to 1. So that is how we design a 3-bit counter. Okay.